A few days ago, I uploaded a video saying the cooling fan on my 1080 Ti died. Turns out the cable that plugs the fan into the motherboard actually just came loose. So once I found that out, I plugged it back in and the card's been working ever since. I even loaded up MSI Afterburner so I could have a custom fan curve. And when I'm running that same NVIDIA tech demo from years ago, instead of getting 180 or so, I'm getting around 140 or so. And that's with the fan running at maybe 80 to 90%. Yes, it's noisy, but the temperatures are more within line for what I want. So I already messaged the eBay seller letting him know I messed up and that the card he sent me is going to be returned. As you can see, this is the said card he sent me. And some people were saying the reason why the backplate was bent was due to it being a minor card. I kind of think the reason why the backplate was bent is just due to how well this thing is packaged. This thing's packaged real tightly and real well. So a little bit of pressure was put onto the backplate and whatnot. So I'm just going to put this thing back in the box. I had to pull it out because I had to get the return label out of the box and whatnot. So more than likely Tuesday or Wednesday is when I'll be returning this. Reason being because we're going to apparently be having some snow where I live. So yay me. So with that said, I'm going to put this back in the box and then come back and talk about something else. The key item among you will notice that I also had a video card at the top right of the screen. That's this video card. It's a GTX 980. It's old. I got it for free from my tech over at MyFreeGeek. She had no need for this thing, especially considering she has a 1080 Ti. She says this thing works, but it overheats really quickly. It's pretty obvious why. The original owner, the tech did not get this. The tech was not the original owner of this card. She got this in a trade. The original owner of this card, for some unknown reason, took out the back plate and the screws, leaving just these screws right here holding the little metal piece here, and two screws here that are actually attached here in the diagonal. So I don't know what the original owner did, nor does the tech, but you can see why this thing overheated really quickly. And the only reason why the tech didn't do anything about this is because, well, she had other things to do, and like I said, she has a 1080 Ti. So getting this card back up and running really wasn't on her to-do list, because again, she has a 1080 Ti, which smokes this thing. But she gave it to me for free because at the time, I thought the fan on my 1080 Ti was bad, and I was going to use this fan to fix it. But as I mentioned earlier, the fan cable just came loose. So with that said, I do plan on fixing up this card. I placed a bid on eBay for a broken one of these, and I actually won it. So that's supposed to come in sometime this week, hopefully. I ended up paying like 50 bucks for it. $30 for the actual main bid itself, and then 15 bucks for shipping. And since I'm paying 15 bucks for shipping, hopefully the person is going to send it my way really quickly. So with that said, I do plan on getting this up and running. And if I do get this up and running, I also plan on building a computer around it. And it's going to be utilizing my Ryzen 5 1600 as the core, or as the heart of the system. So I'll have to also buy a new motherboard and whatnot. But first things first, I need to see if I can even get this thing up and running. And if I end up having two dead 980s, that's completely fine. Yeah, it's wasted 50 bucks, but at least I didn't pay 150 for one of these on eBay, because these things actually go for 150 bucks on eBay working, surprisingly enough. With that said, I'm obviously not selling this card, because again, I want to keep it, and this is the type of founder's card I've actually been wanting to own for a long time. Personally, I'd like to have one in the 1080 Ti variant. But again, it's more just the actual aesthetics that I like over when it comes to stuff like this, or when it comes to this particular card. So maybe I might be able to swap my 1080 Ti board into this shroud and whatnot. But for right now, I just want to get this thing up and running. So expect a video on this guy, hopefully sometime this week. Depends on when the donor card comes in. Also, my foam board finally came in, so I'm also going to be starting back up on Mikamo. Expect a video on her sometime next week. Depends on how well the video card I was just talking about goes and whatnot. So hopefully sometime this week, the video card uploaded, and sometime next week something on Mikamo. And I think I'll end the video here. As you can see, my 1080 Ti with the custom fan curve is keeping itself really cool. It's keeping itself in the 150s, which is exactly what I want. Well, I would really like it to be in the 140s, but this is a blower style, so I had to put up with the slightly higher temperatures. So with that said, I'm happy that it was just a loose fan cable.